Starting on pole, of course, is car number 3, Todd Wanless. Beside him, 34 from Western Australia, Michael Figliamini. Out of position 3 from the Northern Territory, 45, Warren Eakins. Out of position 4, 14 from Western Australia, Neville Lance. On the third row, Queensland 23, Barry Valentino. Out of position 6, Queensland 11, Clayton Walker. Out of position 7, Queensland 54, Mark George. Out of position 8, West Australia 10, Mark Glazebrook. Out of position 9, West Australia 77, Aaron Holswich. Out of position 10 is Victoria 59, Darren Power. Position 11 is Victoria 55, Craig Smith. Position 12 is Queensland 9, Barry Wickstead. Position 13 is West Australia 61, Dean McCallum. Out of position 14 is Queensland 12, John Davidson. Position 15, West Australia 43, Jimmy Fleming. Position 16 is Queensland 18, Ken Stanaway. Position 17, South Australia 16, Kim Cottrell. Position 18, New South Wales 98, Glenn Revell. Out of position 19 is 33, Peter Gent Jr. from Victoria. Position 20, West Australia 6, Scott Glazebrook. Out of position 21 is Queensland 71, Andrew Barr. You just see the crews coming around to line up the cars, and we'll have the drivers coming out very soon. McAllen and 12, John Davidson. In the following Jeep, we'll have Victoria 55, Craig Smith, and Queensland 9, Barry Wickstead. So give them a wave and a cheer. I'd like to see the people. In the next Jeep, we have West Australia 77, Aaron Holswich, and Victoria 59, Darren Power. I see Jimmy Fleming and Ken Stanaway there comparing notes in the back of the Jeep. Give them a wave. Johnny Davidson and Dean McCallum, the young charger from Western Australia. Barry Wickstead and Craig Smith, give them a cheer. Done a good job just to be here. Following that, we have one of our trophy girls. Give them a wave. Also our next trophy girl, Robin. Good to see Robin here tonight. On the hard-working staff here at Brisbane International Speedway. Also see Todd Bonless's car has just come out onto the track. They've done a fair bit of work on that car since the pole shuffle. The tail was all pushed in. There was some concern that with the tail pushed in like that, they wouldn't be able to get all the fuel in for 40 laps. So they've actually used an air compressor to pump air into the tank to push it out. So the tank's back out where it should be, and the crash bar's back on. They're good to see the car fronting up. Next driver's coming out. We have car number 54, Mark George, and number 10 will be Mark Glazebrook. As these drivers come around, and as they vacate the Jeeps, they will receive their Australian Speed Car Control Council medal for qualifying for the Australian Championships. Of medals, and 14, his good mate Neville Lance from Western Australia. And just waiting on the lap. I'd just like to thank some of the other sponsors who've helped us out with this championship, besides the very nice people, Rick and Lisa from Retrovision Carindale. There's quite a few other people who've put up money, because during this race therell be $100 per lap given to a specific driver, and it will vary through the race as to which position it goes to. ABC Auto Gear, Allmac Plant Hire, American Tyre and Racing Service, AS Engineering, Bobcat Barry, Ian Botcher Race Parts, Stanborough Automotive, Caltex Clearview in Adelaide, Carmen's Auto Trimmers at Slacks Creek, Colour Scan, Wayne and Wendy Cover, Day and Night Mechanical at Logan Village, Eastside Auto Electrics in Bundaberg. Thank you to Ross Miller. I know you're here tonight, Ross. EHS Landscaping at Browns Plains. Shoreline Body Repairs, Taylor and Cook Real Estate at Logan Village, Tile Pro, that's Denny Palmer. Tipper Hire at Logan Village. Trade Tyres, Logan Village. Anthony and Janice van der Eyden. Paul and Nicky Gislingham. Mike Bone Turbochargers. The Vintage Speedcar Association. Clayton and Leisha Walker. Murray Walker. Watts Bus and Coachwork. And Russell Woolley, the great supporters of this event. So just waiting on the rest of our drivers to make their way around, vacate their cars. And we have a special person here tonight to start this event. A man well known in speedcar racing circles for many, many years. He was Queensland's first national speedcar champion going back in 1969. We'll say hello to none other than Blair Shepherd. Good evening, Blair.
Good evening, and good evening all you good people out here. What a great night.
Blair, you're a midget driver for quite some years. You brought a lot of excitement, a lot of speedcar and Speedway fans. How's it like to come back after all these years?
It's awesome, it really is. I mean, it's just so great to see this terrific venue out here and such great competitors. I mean, it's just stunning for me to sit up there in the stands and watch it. Breathtaking.
Blair, when you raced speedcars, there was no roll cages and very little safety equipment. I mean, if you're racing your car today, would you like to get in amongst it again?
Well, first and foremost, there's no chance I'd ever want to get in one of these. They're going too quick. No, I think it must be a real buzz. It must be a total buzz. I was talking to Scott in the pits a while ago. I used to race with his dad, and you know, it's just so different to when we were there.
It'd be great to have you here. We'll get back to you in a moment. We have an official duty for you to perform as we get these cars and drivers in and buckled up, ready to go racing. We've got 40 laps of racing to go. Day one, Freddie Keener. Just got all these drivers in and buckled up.
Australian Speedcar Championship. Start your engines.
And well done to Blair Shepherd, a man who knows all about speedcar racing. The vintage cars fire up. Jimmy Holden leading Freddie Keener. Engines all firing. See there, Jimmy Fleming still trying to make some adjustments to his car. He's had some problems after the accident last night. Just getting the rest of these cars fired up here. A big field, 21 cars. This magnificent event. History of this event dates back to 1935 when Bob Finlay was the very first Australian speedcar champion at Olympic Park in Melbourne. And ever since that time, this title has been held. A great tradition, a great motor racing event. Very proud to be held here at the Brisbane International Speedway. And on behalf of the Australian Speedcar Control Council, to find the guy especially beside and behind, Michael Figliamini moved. And see Jimmy Holden there, 1985 Australian Speedcar champion. I think if we gave him half a chance, he'd line up for this race. So Barry Valentino through, just waiting on Clayton Walker as he makes his way through the very crowded racetrack. They're packing the track down, this track in magnificent condition tonight. And a mark of tribute to Peter Winton, who worked so hard to get it right, and also Crispy, a greater driver. So now, Clayton Walker moving up. Fourth row we'll see Mark George and Mark Glazebrook. Clayton Walker coming through now, Mark George is there. The fifth row, Aaron Holswich in 77 and Darren Power in 59, so they're set and ready. 55, Victoria, Craig Smith, and 9, Barry Wickstead, they're there. 61, Dean McCallum, and 12, John Davidson, they're set. Next we have 43, Jimmy Fleming, and 18, Kenny Stanaway. 16, Kim Cottrell, and 98, Glenn Revell. And from the Repichards we have 33, Peter Gent Jr., 6, Scott Glazebrook, and 71, Andrew Barr. So they're all locked in and ready to go. Our emergency drivers, Michael Hardis and Anthony van der Eyden, will park on the infield if there's any incident in the first lap and any cars are out, they can be called upon. So Freddie Keener in USA 1 leading this field around. Jimmy Holden joins him. How about a hand, Speedway fans? These are the finalists for the 2002 Australian Speedcar Championship. A fine field, some great drivers out there. as Freddie Keener pulls in. Jimmy Holden will pull in upshore next, and then we'll get underway with this event. 40 laps of very, very hard racing. Jimmy Holden's in. I'd say next time around we're going to be having a green light. So the guys will just have a look at the gauges. They'll take the brake pedal, make sure everything is as it should be. So come around and get ready for this. The Australian Speedcar Championship. As they come out of turn 4, we wait for the green light, and we're racing straight to the front. Goes Todd Wallace, Piglamini going with it as they negotiate the first turn further back in the field. John Davidson already picking up a couple of spots, and problems for Aaron Holbridge. As the order at this stage is Wallace, Piglamini, Neville Lance, Warren Eakins, Clayton Walker, Barry Valentino, and Mark Laysbrook. They negotiate the back straight. And already Scott Glazebrook's picked up 4 or 5 spots in the back. Now Lance putting pressure on Piglamini. I think that Eakins in trouble already. Is having problems. He dropped a lot of speed in car 45. But it's all Todd Bonless playing a clean pair of heels to Mike Piglamini. As Neville Lance is holding up the 3rd. Eakins 4th. Walker 5th. And Valentino falling into the clutches of Mark Glazebrook. But Todd Wallace playing a great run at the front of the field. That's where he wanted to stay. As further back we look at some of these placings, it's Darren Power and Barry Wickstead have a bit of a coming together. Wallace picking up white traffic very soon, and that will make it very interesting for him because he has Piglamini right on his tailpipe. And a problem up in turn 4. As we have Glenn Rebel coming to a standstill. Glenn Rebel to a halt. Conditions. It's still a very, very packed field of cars. Wallace will be keen to get a clean start away from here to try and put some ground on Piglamini. So we come around for the start, and Wallace is on the go pedal. Run away. The cars must go single file plus that witch's hat. So Piglamini now. As Wallace charges away. Piglamini chasing harder now. Eakins putting pressure on Neville Lance as they charge down the main straight. Clayton Walker running 5th. The 2 Keener cars in the top 5. Walker swakes Bob and runs wide, but picks it up and keeps going. But Wallace is building a nice buffer between him and the rest of the field. Eakins has dropped up the pace a little, falling back behind Neville Lance. Todd Wallace still leading the way for Queensland with 33 laps on the clock. And yellow lights are on. We have an incident somewhere I can't see for what's happened over here. Looks like we have a wheel off the car. Looks like Glenn Revell pulling out. Not too sure if he's the car that's lost the wheel, but we might get a start this time round. Wallace puts the visor down, he's ready to go. Brings them in fairly slowly. And puts the foot on the gas pedal and we're underway. So Wallace for Piglamini, Neville Lance and Eakins. They all charge down the back straight. Mark Laysbrook looking for a way past Valentino back in the pack. Mark George is there, Barry Valentino, Barry Wickster I should say. But Todd Wallace building a good buffer again. Each time he seems to be able to move away from the field. As Eakins tries to make ground on Neville Lance. So all the Keener crowd up in the VIP booth tonight will be crossing their fingers and their toes and everything else. But Todd Wallace driving the Ross Keener own Gertie Ford, who leads the field at this point of the race. And lots of action back in the pack. Young Dean McAllen trying to put a move on Darren Power. Wanless, Figliamina, Lance, Eakins and Walker. The top 5 as Mark Glazebrook trying ever so hard to get past Valentino. Barry Wickstead dropping a couple of positions in the back straight. And Mark Glazebrook in trouble. Goes off the track and back on. Lucky to get away with that. His Darren Power moves him up track and up another spot. But Todd Wanless coming around, once again catching up on lap traffic. And Jimmy Fleming doing great guns around the outside with his pack. There's fumes coming out the side of Barry Wickstead's car. So Wanless moving up to put a lap on Craig Smith. Smith does the right thing and stays out of the way. So now Figliamini's turn. Coming up behind Craig Smith. And here's Neville right behind him. He picks him up without any problems. The 2 Valentino cars running one behind the other. Back in 6th and 7th. 23 and 54. 25 laps to go. So Todd Wanless still leading this event and doing a fine job. As Michael Figliamini gets a bit crossed up in turn 4. But Figliamini is not to be discounted yet. This race still has a long way to go. As Barry Wickstead pulls out of the event with a big punch up the tail, you can see there for yourself. So it's going to get interesting now as Todd Wanless starts to pick up the main body of the field. Moves inside Scott Glazebrook and carries on as Warren Eakins starts still trying to come through. The rest of the field moves through to put a lap on Craig Smith. You can see the jostling at the front there between Valentino George, Dean McCallum, Mark Glazebrook. Nearly running up the racetrack, but Wanless at half distance, 20 to go. 20 down and 20 to go. Wanless, Figliamini. They go back to Neville Lance, Warren Eakins, and Clayton Walker. He's doing a great job for a short amount of time he's been racing a speed car. Jimmy Fleming trying everything to get around Darren Power. So now Todd Wanless moves up to put a lap on Peter Jen Jr. And this is the sort of time that both Figliamini and Eakins will come to the play because they are excellent in traffic. Wanless just showing his nose up at Smith, and Smith does the right thing, moves over, lets him through. Figliamini following. 17 laps to go. So Wanless and Figliamini, Lance and Eakins in the traffic, and Clayton Walker still fifth. So Barry Valentino's dropped a few spots. It looks like Jimmy Fleming in trouble up against the fence in turn 2. Going to be very difficult for him to get down off the fence. From there, may bring on a yellow line. We'll wait and see, which will close the field right up. And we have a yellow light, as I predicted. So Jimmy Fleming just as try as he could 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 not get down off the fence. Too many cars on the track. So as we see it, 15 laps, so it doesn't count. So your orange light should be ready to go off, I think, or it's obviously still on somebody out of position. Vital for these positions to be right. With 16 to go. Looks like they're set, ready. Orange lights off. Todd Wanless gives it a squirt to make sure everything's still working. Figliamini, Lance and Eakins will continue their battle momentarily. So they come around for this restart. 16 laps to go. Wanless puts the foot down and we're underway again. Open traffic for the running group. So from here we're going to decide as Mark George now moves up on the tailpipe of Clayton Walker. Wallace, Figley immediate. Look at Eakins on the inside, trying for a move on Lance. And Eakins is in trouble. Gathers it up and keeps going, but nearly brought the field unstuck. That problem with his car is still there. So Todd Wallace, Figley will start to come into his own shortly. The final 10 laps, it'll be all out, and Wallace in trouble. Figley through. I think this might happen, but made a mistake, and Figley gone past. So Figley the new leader. Wallace next, then Lance. Warren Eakins, Clayton Walker. And young Dean McCallum's made a huge move through the field. He's up in the 6th spot. So can Wallace come back from there with 12 laps to go? Now Neville Lance also. I believe the track getting a bit stuck up in turns 3 and 4. These guys would have set their cars to come on in the final parts of the race. Figley, Wallace, Lance, and Eakins. This order has remained unchanged from the start. As now Dean McCallum puts a move on Clayton Walker and moves up the 5th spot. A good move from McCallum, this young guy from West Australia. So it looks like his car also set up to come out in the final parts of the race. Eakins once again moves up to Neville Lance. So Figley doing a great job in front. He made the most of that chance that he had. The Cam from WA will be ecstatic if he can go on to win his 4th Australian Speedcar title. As Eakins has put a move on Lance and got away with it. So Warren Eakins now up the 3rd spot. All the action starting to happen this final 10 laps. Also now, Neville Lance falling back in the clutches of Dean McCallum. As Michael Figley moves up to put a lap down on Craig Smith once again. With 6 laps to go. This may be the opportunity that Wallace has been waiting for. With any hesitation, he'll go for it. So now, the young boy from Western Australia, Dean McCallum, is up the 4th spot. He's picked up Neville Lance. This is a great drive from the youngster. Now Eakins about to put a lap on Craig Smith and a bit of a touch there. But he goes around him. Dean McCallum follows him. Lance also coming up. And now Wallace, he's charging hard. He's not going to give this up too easily. Figley and Wallace, the final couple of laps. Wallace trying hard up the inside. Now McCallum also is up to Warren Eakins. What a fine finish this is going to be. It's still anybody's race. Wallace just trying ever so hard down low. 1.5 laps to go, I believe. They'll come round to get the white flag. The white flag going out for Michael Figliamini. Dean McCallum flipping the front wheels off the track to try and get to Warren Eakins. Figliamini charging down the back straight into the final turn. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Speedway fans, put your hands together. The 2002 Australian Speedcar winner, championship winner, Michael Figliamini. Todd Wallace 2nd, Warren Eakins 3rd, Dean McCallum 4th, Neville Lance 5th, Clayton Walker 6th. And what a terrific contest that was. And all credit must go to Michael Figliamini, his 4th Australian Speedcar title. Put your hands together. An excellent drive. He picked his timing spot on. The car was perfect.
Anyhow, I'd like to thank all the people in the film, Jeff Murphy, Jeff Blake, Peter Builders and Rob Hayward Mechanical, Ipswich Size, all the guys that give me a hand in this has been fantastic. Really enjoyed my time here and congratulations to the other players.
Congratulations, Warren. If you'd like to take your place on the dice there. 2nd place tonight. And you thought there's nothing to do it. And what a magnificent drive nonetheless. 2nd place tonight going to Todd Wallace. Congratulations, Todd. Thank you. Well done, Jackie. Get your stash trophy from Robin. Very nicely too. What are your colours? What are your colours? That's the first thing you said. Thanks very much, Rick. Todd. Nelly there.
Hey, that's what champions are made. I was just talking to Fig. Fig's looking good to just ask me, but anyway, he's an absolute legend. Make one tiny mistake and he finds you, and that's what champions do. I thought we had it, but we just weren't good enough. I'd really like to thank our crew. Ross Keener had all the faith in the world in us, with a brand new motor and the car, and Greenie gave us a hand, and Chris's wife and my wife for putting up with us going to races every time, and the crowd was fantastic. The response we've got tonight, it's just great having an Australian title in town and having champions like Warren Eakins and obviously the great Mike Figlamini here to contest this Australian title. I'd like to thank Rick from Retrovision for fantastic support and hope we plenty more support in the future, and John Kelly for getting this race on, and everybody else I've forgotten you, I'm sorry. Metal Corp, my sponsors, my personal sponsors, Metal Corp, and also my own company, ABC Auto Gear. We've got a special one tomorrow at Tour Sale. Thank you.
Congratulations, Todd. Well done. Now we move on to the man who's done it before, 3 times before. This makes 4 Australian championships for this great champion from Western Australia. Please put your hands together for the 2002 Australian Speedcar champion, Michael Figlamini. Just a quick word for first of all, before you get your trophy, congratulations, outstanding drive.
Thanks very much. I'd like to congratulate all the place getters, particularly Todd. I thoroughly enjoyed racing against Todd over the last couple of weeks, and I've had probably as much fun as ever in a speed car over this weekend. We had a good race in the pole shuffle, and we're looking forward to a good race in the final. And I figured that I was going as hard as I could, and all it took was one little slip up, and the track was quite difficult to drive on tonight, and thankfully we come out ahead, but it could have gone either way. Big special thanks to Jason and Michelle Gray for putting us up for the whole couple of weeks, and big thanks to everybody for coming along tonight. I'd like to thank my whole crew, particularly the biggest thank you of all would be to Wayne Cover, Rod Cover, and there's a whole heap of people from Wasda back in Perth who worked tirelessly to get all the cars out here for this particular weekend and last week as well, and big thanks for them, because without mainly Wayne we wouldn't have got here, and I hope his car ran well tonight with Scott driving. And I'd like to thank my family, and particularly my wife Valerie, who's here tonight, and I named my car Flash in dedication to a friend of mine who passed away recently, so I'm sure he was watching.
Well done, Michael. Congratulations. If you'd like to receive your trophy there. Got something to go for Flash. And Rick. As you can see, Australia won and the Australian flag. Great thing to see on Australia Day, 2002. How about a big hand for these great drivers? Also, Ben McCallum finished 4th. These 3 great drivers, stick around for a long time. It's a terrific speed car. Thank you very much indeed, guys. We're going to have some celebration. We're going to have this. We've got a couple more races to go. Thank you for coming. Please come down inside with the meeting's over.